while responding to an active shooter situation. No reports of injuries from last night's fire at the Orthopedic Institute of Lehigh Valley Hospital, just north of Scranton in Dixon City, Pennsylvania. Dow futures down 153. More details, srnnews.com.
Is your dog a picky eater, scratching all the time, eating grass, or licking their paws until they're raw? If so, your dog's trying to tell you something. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, founder of Rough Greens here, and you may not know what your dog means, but I do. They're trying to tell you that his digestive tract is in distress. He needs live probiotics and enzymes, and guess what? You can't get that from kibble. It's not in there. The good news is you don't have to change his food to improve his health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. It's America's #1 nutritional dog supplement for a reason. With live vitamins, omega oils, antioxidants, enzymes, and probiotics, just sprinkle it on your dog's food and watch them come back to life. More energy, shinier coat, better digestion, all in 90 days or less. Want a happier, healthier dog? I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use discount code PICKY. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code PICKY. Rough Greens. So good, your dog will ask for it by name.
Start the new year in a new Chevrolet from Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, where the deals are ready to roll. Right now, get behind the wheel of a Chevy Trailblazer with 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or step up to a Chevy Silverado 1500 and score up to $6,250 in rebates with an eligible trade-in. It's the perfect time to upgrade your drive and start the year strong with the power and reliability of Chevy. Make your New Year's move today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online anytime at hurlchev.com.
NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. The other day, NWKS Radio stopped by the Wallace County Schools Career Day and College Fair, and our own Christina Hemmel got to speak to Lisa DeWeese, the student guidance counselor there. And here's a little bit of what she had to say about that event.
I think our community, #1, turned out to support. It's an opportunity for our local businesses to showcase what they do. And then we had great response from community colleges and tech schools that are close to us. We do this is because it's part of their individual plan of study that's required by the state of Kansas. So this is an opportunity to expose kids to lots of things that they can do in Northwest Kansas for a career, or they might want to take that somewhere else as well.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh.
This morning, northwesterly winds will increase at 15 to 25, gusting to 35 miles per hour. And under sunny skies, highs will reach into the mid-60s in the Norton Hill City areas to around 70 in Goodland. Tonight, skies will be mostly clear. Winds will turn to a west direction around 10 miles per hour, and lows will be mild in the low to mid-30s. Tomorrow, a backdoor cool front will turn the winds more north-northeasterly at 5 to 15 miles per hour. However, temps will remain mild for this time of year in the low to mid-60s under mostly sunny skies and lows in the upper 20s and low 30s. Flow will turn more to the south direction over the weekend, and then with the blocking high pressure holding firmly over the Rockies through Monday and Tuesday, unseasonably warm and dry conditions will continue. Highs will be in the 65 to 75 degree range and lows in the 30s. Fire weather conditions will be elevated on the afternoons when the winds become a bit breezy. This meteorologist Chris Romick of the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
At Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic, they believe in promoting healthier living through compassionate quality care. From state-of-the-art maternity care to life-saving emergency services, their dedicated team is there for you and your family. Whether it's managing diabetes, navigating recovery, or receiving specialized treatments, they're committed to your well-being. Discover the difference a community-focused hospital can make. Visit rayhospital.org today to learn more. Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic. Your health, our priority.
Kick off the new year in professional-grade style with Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Right now, drive home a GMC Arcadia with 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or choose a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 and get up to $7,000 in rebates with an eligible trade-in, or 0% APR for well-qualified buyers. Big capability, bold style, and New Year savings you don't want to miss. Start the year strong at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online at hurlchev.com.
Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes. And when the snow starts falling, If it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snowblowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
When you gotta go, but there's nowhere to go, who you gonna call? Topside Portables and Pumping, that's who. Weddings, job sites, farm parties, they've got clean, reliable porta potties that don't stink, literally. And if your septic tank smells worse than last year's chili cook-off, they'll pump it out fast. No mess, no fuss. Family owned, Heartland values, always ready. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. When duty calls, they answer.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4! It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone. He's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes McMahon. He'll score. Ball game.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakland.
Let's go to work.
Sides a guarded three on its way. It's good. She hit the deck, no whistle. But Taryn with a three-pointer has 11. Here's Heel. Gets free, steps into Eddie Banjo, gets the foul, makes the shot.
Davis back to Jake. Top of the key three. Long. Rebound inside. Walker gets it back to Evasic, and Tommy slams it in.
He's got the rebound. Sanders pokes it away and steals it from behind. Left side, Isaiah to a trailing Holland. Pulls up, three ball in the way, right between the eyes from downtown. A hustle play for the Buffaloes.
Back to Flemings, left corner, Sinak. He'll try a three. Strong Tugler, though. The putback slam.
Right, pivots, working in, lost the ball, still loose, diving for it, and now Tyson has it, goes up with a shot!
Yes, and one! Continuation! That is stick-to-itiveness!
Happy Thursday morning, everybody. February the 5th here, and what are we going to experience? A 67-degree day today? Oh, my goodness. Can you believe it? 67 degrees on February 5th. Oh, it's depressing.
It's ridiculous.
Connor Schuh is depressed. I can tell. He's not happy about this weather. He needs.
I'll take a warm day, though. I'll take a warm day. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I like the warm days too, but bring them in April or May or June, July, August, September, October. I'm telling you, I'm thinking it might be the driest and warmest winter, maybe in the history of the High Plains. It feels like we could be set. We could be living through history right now. We could be living through it. That's the way to possibly look at it here. But good Thursday morning, everybody. We got a big show for you ahead today. We're going to talk, because the weather is so nice, we might as well talk baseball. And so we are going to talk some baseball today. The college baseball season gets going tomorrow for Colby Community College baseball. And, of course, good friend of the program, skipper Ryan Carter for the Trojans, will be joining us. We'll talk with him about the upcoming season that they are about to partake in. So we'll get to Coach Carter coming up a little bit later on in the program. It's kind of a down week college basketball-wise. No KU, no K-State after Monday, of course, obviously, until Saturday. Kind of a little bit of a mid-conference bye to an extent here this week to kind of get things rested and recharged. But we will touch on some NBA trades a little bit later on in the program. We'll hit some stuff there. We'll talk some more college basketball a little bit later on the program, but Now, I tell you, we got to start off with the story of the morning. The story of the morning. Connor Schuh was there to witness it live in person, if I'm not mistaken. But last night, they're calling it maybe the win of the program's history. Colby Community College women upsetting the third-ranked Dodge City Community College ladies last night. They're at home in just an unbelievable performance. They pull off the win over Dodge City. Final score last night. God, I don't have it written down. I haven't even there. But man, unbelievable performance last night from the Lady Trojans as they upset the number 3 team in the nation in Dodge City, picking up their 13th win of the season. 71-64 is the final score.
Yeah, and they won almost wire to wire. It was pretty incredible. They led from maybe 3 minutes into the game all the way to the end, and they didn't really let up. Dodge City, I mean, that's their first loss of the season. That's incredible. But you could tell it was a bit of a colder shooting night for Dodge, but Colby took full advantage, had a good game offensively, and they locked down just enough on defense and didn't really let them get anything they wanted. And it was just really impressive. A lot of the leading talent on the Dodge team just couldn't really get what they wanted. Manuela Piljevic, she got hers. She had 21, but really no one else did much. Savi Me had 14, but on 16 shots, really inefficient performance from most. And Dodge was held to 39% shooting from the floor, 26% from 3. And here's the big one. Colby didn't foul at all.
Yeah, this was the stat of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, only 7 free throws taken for Dodge. So that's really impressive. Colby defended well without fouling, and I think that was really the big key to the game. And they knocked down free throws. Dodge got into some big foul trouble, and Colby took 30 free throws, hitting 70% of them. And they didn't even shoot well from 3, 22% as a team, but they did everything else well enough to get a W. And they actually kept a pretty tight rotation this time. Only 7 players really got minutes in the game, and that seemed to help.
Well, the thing that, like you mentioned, to me, the stat of the game was you look across the board, everything was very even. 2 things stood out. Number one is they got off to a great start. They were up by 7 at the end of the first quarter, and then they had they were great in the first and the third quarters. They were great out of the locker room to begin the game, great out of the locker room after halftime. They were in those quarters plus 13. And so that really put them in a good spot. Dodge City really tried to storm back in the fourth quarter to get the win, but was not successful in doing so. But you look at the numbers across the box score. They were very even. Rebounding, shooting, very even. But as you mentioned, the stat that really stood out was free throw shooting. Go to the line and you make 21 of 30 free throws in this game, while Dodge goes out there and goes 3 of 7. That's going to be it. And they also took pretty much twice as many three-pointers and made over twice as many, but the efficiency was not there from 3 for Dodge last night.
It was awful, and they're usually a great shooting team. I mean, you need to be a great shooting team to be this good, but I got to tip my cap to Desiree Ulmer. She really had the biggest performance of the night for Colby. I think a career high 33 points and 13 for 19, incredibly efficient, hit a 3, something she doesn't normally do, but also 4 steals. Great hands in the passing lanes on defense, and you say that for the entire team. They picked up 7 as a squad, and yeah, just a concerted team effort on defense, and then Ulmer just lifting everybody on offense. It was pretty impressive.
Well, anyway, they call it maybe the win of the program's history, knocking off number 3 Dodge City. Colby Community College did last night. 71-64 Lady Trojans get the win, and they're playing with house money here in 2026. I mean, they really are. I think they've won 4 of their last 5. I think they've only dropped 2 games here in the new year. They're playing very, very well. Very, very big, huge win for them last night there at the Colby Event Center. So it was just the second loss of the year for Dodge City. They had lost to Butler earlier this year. Larry reminds me of that, 72-58. They lost in that one. But still, I mean, this is a great friend of the county. We had Darren Spence on earlier this week. You know, he's been very slowly building this program up. And I don't think there's been a lot of, I don't want to sit here and say I'm shocked at this outcome. I don't want to sit here and say that I am, just because everywhere that Darren Spence has gone, he has built winners, whether it be, Division II, JUCO, Division I, where he's coached at before down at New Mexico State, I think. He's built winners. He knows what winning looks like. He knows what it takes to win, and he's doing it here in Colby. Now, once again, are they going to go out and win a national championship this year and win the Jayhawk? No, not saying that. But these are the steps that you take. You take over a program that I think when he took over, they only had won 1 or 2 games the entire season.
Wow.
And he had, built it up. The next year they double that win total up to 8, 9, 10. And now this year they're at 12 already, and they still got plenty. They could get to, he talked about trying to get to that goal of hosting a first round playoff game, and along the way, you're going to have to pull off some upsets. And this is one of those big time upsets that they pull off against one of the best teams, not only in the Jayhawk Conference, but one of the best teams in the nation in Dodge City. It was relayed to me that Dodge City was without one of I think their number 2 guard or something like that. They were missing one of their top players, but nonetheless, doesn't matter. Great showing there. And you could almost, I'm not trying to say anything bad to Dodge City here, but you're on the road. It's a Wednesday night, and you've been cruising this season, and sometimes these games happen when you're the better team. You just kind of just go in there, kind of thinking, oh, we got this, and we're down 7 after the first quarter. That's all right. We'll make up for it. Then you're like, oh, we're still down halftime. It's all right. We got second half is ours. Third quarter, we're down a little bit more here. We better get some work done. And then you get in the fourth, like, all right, let's get to work. And sometimes you just are in a little too deep of a hole to dig yourself out of when you come.
Yeah, and they probably, to your point, maybe in that point you think, maybe you can out-talent the other team, but that wasn't happening. Colby, I mean, their talent stood up against theirs, I thought, pretty well. And also, I don't think they were missing anybody, actually. The men's team was missing one of their best players, but I think the Dodge women's team wasn't really missing anyone.
Like I said, I got a message from Larry, our great follower of basketball, and he thought that Dodge was without their starter number 2, a guard, but he goes, still a huge win. But I don't know. We'll see. Nonetheless, great win for Colby Community College women, who are now 13-10 overall and 10-7 in conference play. I think that's the more impressive record. Yeah, 13-10, but 10-7 in conference play. Really big win for them, and they are on the road at Cloud coming up here on Saturday. But that was not the only team that had a nice win last night. The Fort Hays Tech Northwest women, they win again. Oh my gosh, for the second time in 4 games, they win. Pick up their second win of the season. They win down at Independence by a final of 65-62. This was a very even game throughout. But Fort Hays Tech Northwest, with just a little bit better fourth quarter, prevails and gets their second win of the Jordan Klein era. 3 ladies in double figures, led by Marta Rodriguez, who had 14 points. Wasn't very efficient, just 5 of 15 shooting, but get 11 points as well from Vaposka and Fernandez to help them lead the way. And looking at the numbers once again in this game, you kind of think like, well, how did they win this game? I'd say it was probably their defense. They held Independence to just 31% shooting. Because if you look at the other statistics, there are some ones that are not good for Tech. I mean, they went 9 of 22 from the foul line to Tech, not good, while Independence goes 17 to 24. That's usually bad. How about the rebounding discrepancy? I mean, 53 to 38, you lost the rebounding battle. That's not good. Turnovers were pretty even for the most part, but 31% shooting. That will get you. When you can't put the ball in the basket, that will get you. And that's what seemed to happen last night to Independence, while Fort Hays Tech Northwest just made a few more plays on the offensive end and gets the 3-point win. Well, it makes you wonder, as they just pick up their second win of the season, they're still 2-20. How many more wins can they pick up down the stretch here now that they've kind of broken the ice, broken the glass a little bit? I don't know. Maybe another one. The rest of the schedule is very tough. You've got Seward County coming up on Sunday. You go to Barton on Wednesday. You've got Cali, who, that's a tough matchup there. You've got Dodge City. We all know what they're like. Cloud, Colby, Coffeyville, Hutch. It may be tough to pick up another one.
Yeah, I was going to say, with all due respect, it might be one more tops. And still, that's an improvement. I mean, you come off a 1-win season, and anything is better, pretty
Yeah.
much.
After last night's win, you've already doubled the wins from last season. So
You have.
it's been a, I'm sure it's been a very hard season, as we visited with Coach Jordan Klein, last week about it. It's been a tough season, and it's hard to kind of keep everybody positive, but they seem to do a pretty good job. And to go on the road and travel 8 hours, 7-8 hours to the southeast part of the state and to battle that and get that win, that's huge for them. So congratulations to the Fort Hays Tech Northwest women. They get their second win of the season, 65-62, the final score from that last night. And it was not a good night for the men, either Colby Community College or Fort Hays Tech Northwest. Both ended up losing. Tech men have now lost 3 in a row. They lost in Independence 81-70 was the final score. Q Dixon with 20 points, but on 8 of 20 shooting, 13 points for DeKing Smith, and then 11 for Ricardo Marzetti with 11 points there coming off the bench for him. But yeah, that was a tough one last night for them. This was the difference in this game. Did you see this? Tech goes 12 of 26 from the foul line. Independence 25 of 26.
You're not going to win a game if that's the free throw discrepancy. I'll say that much.
Well, it was the discrepancy is in the makes. Each team shot the same amount of pretty much of 3-pointers.
That's what I'm saying.
Fouls, but it's who converted. And it was
25-26. Geez, shooting 26 free throws alone is a lot, and both teams had that opportunity, but one took advantage, one did not, clearly.
Yeah, to me, that was the stat of the game, is that they went to the line 26 times and only missed 1, while Tech goes to the line same exact amount of time, only makes 12. And there's the difference in a game where you lose by 11. So got to make your free throws. But Tech Tigermen did not. Like I said, now have lost 3 in a row, dropping them to an overall record of 11-10 overall and 7-9 in conference play. And of course, Colby Community College men, another tough loss last night. They lose 80-71. What were your thoughts on the men's game?
I actually thought they hung in there for that first half and maybe all the way up until I'd say the 10-minute mark in the second. It was a really close game. They were trading the lead pretty much that whole time. And then all of a sudden, Dodge just they kicked it into gear, and then Colby just went ice cold from the field in that last 10 minutes. It felt like nobody could buy a bucket at that point, and they went on a long cold streak, and Dodge started piling up the scoring. And this is another one, where the free throws weren't that different. It was from the 3-point line. Dodge shot it way better than Colby, 42% compared to, 35, but it wasn't helped when you had a couple of guys put up some tough performances. Kellen Simino, 1 for 12, 1 for 8 from deep, and Alou Diallo had 16 points, but 5 for 18 from the floor, 2 for 9 from 3. When I watch the Colby boys, I feel like there's some plays that just end up kind of going nowhere, a lot of directionless drives, and it feels like a lot of times it feels like you're giving the ball to Alou and just making him drive straight down the middle and hoping he can go draw a foul or something.
JUCO ball.
It's yeah. I mean, you see that at the D1 level too. That's how Kansas State plays.
I know. You are exactly right. It is how K-State plays.
So but you see the girls team and how they play. They run a very well-oiled machine on offense, and then it's no disrespect to anybody on the men's side or anything, but it just, things for whatever reason are not clicking on the offensive end for them. And yeah, it's just they can't string together consistent scoring. And they had some points where they were really locking up on defense, but Dodge has some really tough shot makers, like the kid number 2, Derek Rivers. He had 20 points. That dude, it felt like he hit every contested jumper he took. He did shoot 8 for 21, but he made some really tough buckets. And Ricky Lofton, the second, 19 points on 13 shots. Those two really lifted them late. And it felt like once they started getting going, the game was kind of over.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, I should pull it. No, I can't split those, but, 44% shooting from the field for Dodge, and Colby goes 33.3. So you see the difference there. pretty much 10 percentage points is a lot when it comes to shooting. And so when you're struggling there, it's just, you look at this Colby Community College lineup, and I feel like every time I look at a box score, I see different names, in there, like at the beginning part of the season, they were so injured and they were playing a bunch of their guys, like the Rhett Katzes and the Kramer kid from Dighton. And now those guys don't even see the floor because the rest of the guys are back. And those guys, Nana Ketcha was a guy who I think last year was pretty darn good for them. And, last night goes 0 for 4, doesn't have a single point. It's just it's inconsistencies across the board for Colby this year.
Yeah. And they also, even with like the lack of injuries now and most of these guys healthy, they shake up the lineup a ton, because you'll see Rhett Katz go in there and start and play 25 minutes one game, and then he'll get a DNP like this game.
Right.
And it's really bizarre because it just seems like there's different guys starting and getting all the minutes one game, and it's just, there's no continuity. And I'm sure for the players, it probably feels like they're being thrashed around. It's like they don't know what their role is going to be on a given game. And that can be a good thing in some systems. Like if you're on a great team, maybe sometimes the star player isn't playing so well, so the role player goes out and hits a bunch of threes and is the star for the night. But this isn't like that. It's more so who's going to get all the shots thrusted onto them other than the two main guys. And none of it feels cohesive, and they're having a tough year.
Cohesiveness. I mean, it's kind of like, nowhere on the same level, but it's kind of like Kansas early on when they were playing with Peterson, without Peterson. They kind of kept messing with the lineup to figure out what was going to work and when who was going to be able to play. Colby's kind of experienced that the whole season. You said it greatly.
Yeah.
They have not had the consistency in the lineup night in and night out to build that chemistry. And then that leads to, once again, like you said earlier, about how, they get down the shot clock. All right, here you go. Someone take a shot, get in the bucket, see if you can draw a foul or something. And it doesn't work that way. And so you got to have that continuity. And Colby really struggled with that this year. And it's led to the record that they have right now, which is 5-18 overall and just 3-14 in conference. So overall, great night for the women, a tough night for the men in JUCO hoops. Colby Community College women, though, with the win of the night, knocking off third-ranked Dodge City at home. They were inside the event center. As I mentioned, coming up next for both teams, they're back in action this weekend on Saturday. Colby goes to Cloud, and then it's Sunday that Fordyce Tech Northwest hosts Seward County at the Max Jones Fieldhouse, and those are what's ahead. Real quickly, let's just get to Colorado real quickly. I don't have to spend a lot of time on this. The Buffaloes last night get spanked by Baylor. That was that was not pretty, to say the very least.
No.
But they go on the road and don't stand a chance against Baylor last night. 86-67 was the final score in this one. Can't get what it's the slow starts for Colorado that just do them in. I mean, they're down 45-21 at half. You can't overcome that.
That'll kill you. And I just wanted to plug a couple of quick college basketball scores alongside that. Portland beat Gonzaga.
Yep, that was a
number
nice
6. And Minnesota upset Michigan State. And there was one more, Oklahoma State over BYU. So 3 upsets. Colorado may have lost, but there were some fun upsets last night.
Yep. No, you're right. It was a fun night of basketball. The Barn gets another one. I think that's the third ranked win Minnesota's gotten at home this year for Nico Medved. So, yeah. So another interesting night of basketball. But yeah, like I said, Colorado losing last night, 86-67, dropped in 13-10 overall, 3-7 in Big 12 play. So yeah, but yeah, isn't it amazing when you see like it was at Portland State, wasn't it, or at Portland?
Portland, yeah.
Yeah, it was at Portland. Gonzaga was, and you look at like the telecast. I mean, it looks like it's old network television.
That's your ESPN Plus broadcast right there, Ross.
It is that. I'll tell you, that's the question is, how much will that hurt Gonzaga? How far will they fall in the poll?
I'm not too worried. That's one loss.
They usually stumble one time a year somewhere.
Yeah.
Usually
it's just St. Mary's.
Usually it is St. Mary's. You're exactly right. But St. Mary's, to give them credit, if Gonzaga was not in their league, I think St. Mary's would be the Gonzaga of that league.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
They're a really, really good program. Really good program.
I think St. Mary's is equivalent to a pretty solid Power 5 program.
Yeah. They're very, very good. Boy, nice win for Oklahoma State last night. That's a great win for them. Houston dominated last night. Illinois wins by 40. 40. Oh, my gosh.
But Oklahoma State's on the bubble, too, so that's really big for them.
Tell you, BYU is – did they get off to another slow start? No, it was tied at half. Okay. I didn't know about that. It was tied at half. But BYU just is – tell you, they feel like they dig themselves holes and then they got to shoot their ways back into games, and they do.
Not that time.
But they couldn't get it done last night. All right, let's get to our first break. We'll come back. We're going to shift gears and talk a little college baseball with Ryan Carter, Colby Community College baseball coach. Their season gets underway this weekend down in Oklahoma. We'll talk with him next. You're listening to the Morning Blitz here on a Thursday.
At Viera Wireless, building good signal requires no shortcuts, real work, and exacting standards you can trust. Get signal you can count on with an iPhone 17 on us. Or for the family, get 4 unlimited lines, each with an iPhone 17 on us for just $100 per month. Get the most out of our network with iPhone 17 and coverage that's reliable where it matters most. That's Viera Wireless.
Taxes, fees, eligible trade-in, and select plans required.
Your business was built right here, so is ours. At FNB Bank, we are not run from some distant city. We are run by neighbors, for neighbors. We know what matters to you because it matters to us too. From local decisions to face-to-face service, we are here. Bank local, grow local, stay local. FNB Bank, member FDIC.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, Jared Law with the Anderson Overland Park, Kansas, with your morning market update. It's Thursday, February 5th. March corn down 0.75% at 4.28 3/4. May down 0.5 cent at 4.36 1/2. July down 0.5 cent at 4.42 3/4. December down 1 3/4 at 4.55 1/2. Soybeans on the March up 10 1/4 at 11.02 1/2. May up 11 1/2 at 11.16 1/4. July up 11 1/4 at 11.28. November up 3 at 10.90. KC wheat on the March down 0.25% at 5.30. May down 3/4 5.42. July down 3/4 at 5.56. Chicago wheat up 0.25% at 5.27. Feeder cattle finished yesterday 370.07 1/2. Live cattle 240.52 1/2. Lean hogs 88 even. Crude oil futures down $1.66 a barrel at 63.48. Gold futures down 75.20 at 4,845.20. Silver down 8.61 at 75.55. U.S. dollar index either side of unchanged at 97.51. Dow futures down 160 at 49,431. S&P futures down 43 at 6,861 1/4. If you need to move any cash grade or want to talk about risk management, you can reach out to myself, Jared Law, Tom Suter, or Kelly Gosh, 913-748-3000. If you're out in Colorado, you can reach out to John Hinke or John Stiles at 970-744-4484.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, and cleaner American fuel. This message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
breaking down the plays, the players, and the passion.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
This is the Morning Blitz.
7:35 Mountain, 8:35 Central on a Thursday, February the 5th. Once again, folks, it's going to be 67 degrees today on February the 5th. There's probably not many people that are stoked about this in February, but if there is one person who is fired up about 60-degree temps in the months of February and January, he joins us on the Hoover Lumber's Hardware Hotline. That would be Ryan Carter, who joins us now. Coach, good morning. How are we doing today?
We're doing fantastic. One day away from opening day for us, and I'm not going to lie. I do like the warm weather. I wish we could compromise and get everybody moisture and have warm weather, but for me, I will take not being cold any day.
I've got to ask, I mean, when it comes to getting ready for a season, the biggest thing that the northern teams face is that they're indoors. You know, they're working on hitting, they're working on pitching. They don't get a ton of real outdoor fielding experience. That shouldn't be the case this year for the Trojan baseball team. There should have been plenty of outdoor practice getting ready in that department. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong at all. I keep a little journal just over the years, and I think that we have been outside this, we call it spring, but this season we've been outside more times than we have at this point than the last 5 years combined.
The last 5 years combined. Holy cow.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, at the same, and the thing is, you guys have the big blue barn, which is great, and you guys can be inside, but man, also the thing is too, though, you got to be kind of careful with that ball field out there. It's a nice ball field. You want it to be nice in the spring. You can't rip it up right now. That's got to be a little interesting.
Well, that's the big thing is that, the weather might be nice enough for us to be outside, but, as the ground de-thaws, it freezes, thaws. It keeps the field kind of, it's kind of tough to be on it. But like I said, fortunately, the ground temperature has been above freezing, and, the field's still a little bit soft, but we've been able to be out there. We've scrimmaged twice, actually 3 times, and we've been out there at least 3 other times. I think we've been outside 6 or 7 days with full practices. So, it's we put the turf blanket back on yesterday, and with this warm weather, it's unbelievable. I've had to mow the infield really 2 or 3 times so far since the new year. That turf blanket really works out well, and we should come back to a lush, happy field.
Coach, I want to ask about your offense a little bit. It seemed like you guys hit pretty well last year, and you lost a kid to Campbell, pretty impressive. And this year, I'm sure you guys still have a pretty solid core. Who are some bats we should be looking out for this year?
Well, we return a lot. So sophomore-wise, Turner Zadunik was a returning freshman of the year. So he'll be, the rock in the middle of the lineup. Jacob Mraz, catcher outfielder, switch hitting kid from Colorado, and he had a really good year. Caden Clifford is another guy, another switch hitter, plays infield and outfield. So, those 3 guys right there alone, and Matt Murray, who really has taken a big step from last year. So when you put those 4 guys together as returners, and then I feel that we might have another, arguably another kid that might be the best player in the conference again. His name's Anthony Dubois. He's a 2-way guy, right-handed pitcher and outfielder, and he's one of the most talented players that we've had here since I've been coaching. I know there's been a few here and there that really have blossomed and have really put up some good numbers. But as far as physical tools go, Tony is especially being a 2-way guy, he's probably the most dynamic baseball player that we've had since I've been here.
Ryan Carter, our guest, Colby Community College baseball head coach. You look back at last year, Coach, 31-27. When you reflect on that season, it was very up and down, as the record would say. What stood out to you about last year's run?
Well, I think how we finished. I think one of the cool things is that when your team answers, we had to win against Butler. We had to win 3 out of our last 4 to to host a home playoff, and we go down there and a gritty sweep in Butler, and then the cool thing is that we had a chance to clinch, and Jack Schroeder, who was a bulldog for us, and he had an ailing elbow, and as a matter of fact, this fall he had to get an internal brace put in, and he's going to miss the year at University of Pikeville. But he went out and he wanted felt like he had some unfinished business, and he gives us 5 or 6, and then his brother comes in and closes it out. To me, that was kind of the cherry on top of seeing these guys, especially for Jack, who came off of like a 15-40 season and just felt pretty down to be able to put the cherry on top and clinch a home playoff. So, I mean, just the resiliency of the guys. I think that the record is what it is. It's we were a little bit of an above average team, and that's what our record showed. But just to win when it mattered most in our eyes, that was kind of the cherry on top for us.
You mentioned you've been able to hit the ball, and Connor mentioned this too. You guys hit the ball really, really well. You've been a good hitting team, but pitching sometimes, particularly depth, has been an issue. Where do you stand on the mound this year as you look ahead to 2026? We do not lack depth this year, and we do not lack the ability to throw strikes. We are a great mixture of angles and arm slides and velocities and whatnot. I think that we're probably at least, we have 16 arms, 14 of them which we feel really confident to go in. We have a few guys still developing, but I think that we're at least 8 to 10 deep of guys that we feel that can get out in the conference. And that's, last year we were probably, 4 to 6 deep, 4 really, and and then some hit or miss on some, depending on the day. And this year we feel that we're, that's our biggest defense and pitching. It feels like it's our biggest strength this year. We're going to be able to hit, but you just can't replace a kid who hits 470. You just don't replace a Padilla. But our goal is try to replace them in the aggregate, which means that we need to have a few guys to get on base a little bit. And I think we're going to be able to run a little bit. But pitching and defense seems to be our strength. And fortunately, when you get down to postseason, the teams that can pitch and play defense are the ones that go the furthest.
So you mentioned you have a lot of depth in that pitching staff, and I'm sure it's tough to pick one out, but who in your staff or your bullpen do you think has the best stuff on the team?
Tony Dubois, there's no doubt, has the best stuff. The guy said that, he's going to play center field and he's going to pitch. He's 2 days ago, this is in February, in the cold. He's up to 96. He's got a low 80s curveball. His changeup's his best pitch. He's really, really, really special and dynamic. We're fortunate that he's 5'11" and not 6'4", because if he was 6'4", we wouldn't be saying his name right now. And so he's been really, really really good for us. Isaiah Sidoris had to take a red shirt last year. He's a left-hander out of Colorado Springs. He's another really special arm, really knows how to win. Obviously, Turner Zadunik, like I said, freshman of the year last year, 40 innings on the mound. So, like I said, but Tony, without a doubt, has a chance to get paid to play this game. He's just he's one of those guys. When my daughter asked what separates him from everybody else, and I said that when he was born, God reached down and touched his arm and said, "You're going to be better than everybody else."
The thing is, throwing 96 in, and of course, it's been a nice winter to this point in time, but to find guys that throw 96, and like you said, this time of year when it's cooler, those are the blessed ones. Those are the blessed ones out there on the mound.
Yeah. It's part of him makes you mad because everything that he does, he makes it look really easy. He's just, he's obviously extremely hardworking, very humble, but there's just nothing that he touches that he doesn't make look easy. And for us mortals, it's frustrating. But as a coach right now, I'm sure his teammates they love him and they hate him. But as a coach, I just love him all the time.
Understandably so. Ryan Carter, our guest, Colby Community College. baseball coach, joining us. You open up the season again coming up here in Oklahoma. You guys were picked to finish in 6th in the Jayhawk West. What are your thoughts on the conference heading into this year? Once again, knowing what you know from last year and what you can kind of assume from this year.
I think the western half, I think, is going to be another dogfight. I think that there's not going to be, I think that probably 2 through 6, 3 through 6 is going to probably be within 2 or 3 games, like it usually is, and very well could be 1 through 6 could be within 5 games of each other. I feel that it's a pretty, it could be a pretty even conference talent-wise and whatnot, up and down, and which makes every game fun and makes every game matter, and it increases your gray hair count from week to week. But that's what you want. I think that you want your conference to have parity. You want it to have, just like in anything in athletics, you don't want to have the outcome known before the game starts, and I think that that's what makes it exciting and fun to watch, and it rewards the ones that can, for an overused word, that can grind it out week in and week out. And one of my favorite lines, and I tell our team every single day, Kobe Bryant talks about having doubt and worries, and I said it's fake, right? Because you do good, it doesn't matter. You got to wake up and do it again tomorrow. And you had a bad day, that stinks, doesn't matter. You got to wake up and do it again tomorrow. And that's what it rewards, the person that can wake up and do it again tomorrow. And that's what is fun about having I think a very competitive conference.
I want to ask you about Isaiah Padilla for a second. So he goes to Campbell, and I'm sure as a JUCO coach, it's got to be really cool to see your guys move on to the Division I level like that. What was he like as a player?
Well, it's a funny story, because when Isaiah was a sophomore in high school, I told him, I said, if you come to Colby, I think that you have a chance to be the MVP of our conference. And obviously that came into fruition. It didn't happen directly, right? He was a transfer. He went to a school in Arizona and wanted to, and understandably a little bit of warmer weather and whatnot. But he ended up back here, and freshman year, just like a lot of freshmen, a little bit stubborn, a lot of tools, but needed to figure out that junior college is it's not for the faint of heart, and he had to kind of toughen up a little bit. But I'll tell you what, last year he was a coach's dream. He was a leader. He was present every single day. He practiced really hard. He took accountability, and the coolest thing about him is he grew as a player. He was better at the end of the year than he was at the beginning. At the beginning of the year, he was better at the end of the year than the beginning. And he really worked hard on his craft. And he deserves the success. And we're really rooting for him. I think he's going to get off to a slow start this year. I think he broke his hand, hit by a pitch or dove for something, broke his hand early this spring. So he's going to be on the mend for a few weeks before the season starts. But talking to him, he's going to have a chance to play first base, third base. I think he could play some outfield. He might get some time at short, but I think he had a pretty good fall.
Coach Ryan Carter, our guest, Colby College baseball coach. A few more for you, Coach, before we let you go. But, this is, I think, year number 28 for you, 28, 29?
Here, season 28. Who would have thought that, right?
Yeah, I know. And it's amazing, right? But and the question I have for you based upon that is, you talk about how much this is a grind and how when you go to the JUCOs in baseball, you got to be tough to do that. How, when you look at yourself and like, man, I've been here 28 years. I mean, what are the thoughts on that? And have you felt rejuvenated over the last few years when you get to this point?
Well, you know what they say, there's a fine line between tough and stupid, and I don't know which one I am right now. But no, it's a young man's game, but the fun part about it is I still feel young. And the big thing is that when you're around a good group of guys, when you're around guys that have, it's a similar outlook, where a passion, right? It keeps you young. And so I really, really still do enjoy it. There are days where the days, sometimes the days are long and there's some frustration, but I think when your perspective's right and when you focus on, for me personally, when you focus on your why and my, you take the wins and losses and you take them with a grain of salt. They come and go. But when your why is to develop young men, create relationships, try to leave it better than you found it, then, it's really rewarding. But the ups and downs, right? You win some, you lose some. And when you look back, it's just like we said, you got to wake up and do it again tomorrow. So when you can keep a grounded perspective, and it's really, really helpful to have a super supportive wife and family that can help, because they go through it just the same as all of us. But I had somebody call me, a former player, said, "How's it going?" I said, I haven't had to go to a day of work in my life, so I consider myself pretty blessed.
Was there any conversations with Western Oklahoma State, the team you open up against tomorrow, about moving this series to Colby?
Well, they're paying for our hotel rooms, and I told them I'd gladly pay for yours, but I figured they didn't want to come up north. So yeah, it's but if they made a phone call this afternoon, I'd make sure the field was ready tomorrow.
I was going to say this. You could probably say, guys, it's like a blue moon. It's not going to happen once every how many years? So we might as well come up here and play, don't you think? Let's just do this way.
Well, that'd be wishful thinking. I'd almost be willing to send the bus down to pick them up.
We're bringing them up here. Well, the best part is you don't have to wait very long. I mean, in a week you have a home opener against Lamar, and that might actually be pretty decent weather.
It's forecasted right now pretty well. When we schedule those, I fully intended that probably both double headers were going to end up being in Lamar. It just always seems that in February, Colorado just always seems to be nicer. But it looks like we're going to get it in, and our guys are excited and and the field is in great shape. And you just don't know what you're going to get in February. I mean, I scheduled it with every intention that we probably weren't going to play it, and at least not play it here. But this is one of those years where we're going to look back and we're going to say, you remember the spring of 2026 that the wind never blew and it never got below 50.
It's hard to fathom. All right, well, I'll let you go on this one. Your beloved Dodgers, who finishes runners-up to them this year in Major League Baseball?
Well, I guess they can just say that's the first loser, so it doesn't really matter. But I know that you keep giving me a hard time.
Oh, I do.
It's all right, because somebody's got to ruin baseball, and it might as well be the Dodgers.
I guess that's right. It might as well just be them.
And I know that it's going to make everybody upset when they end up trading for Scooble, and then it's a conspiracy. But as a fan, I'm going to ride. Like they say, we're going to ride her till she bucks us.
Coach Ryan Carter. Coach, it's always great. I'm glad it's baseball season. Look forward to visiting you throughout the spring.
You got it. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Once again, great stuff there. Yeah. Ryan Carter. Gosh, love that guy. He is hilarious. I love his outlook on life. So appreciate Skipper for joining us. We'll take a break, come back, wrap up the show. Some more NBA trades have been made. Connor Schuh's interested in that, and we'll finish up the show next here on a Thursday.
We understand that change can be hard. If you're still holding on to your old flip phone, we might just have the deal for you. At Next Tech Wireless, you can get the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 on us. With its convenient and pocketable design, this phone transforms into what you need when you need it. Next Tech Wireless, celebrating 20 years of connecting Kansans.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes. And when the snow starts falling, if it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snow blowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done.
Start the new year in a new Chevrolet from Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, where the deals are ready to roll. Right now, get behind the wheel of a Chevy Trailblazer with 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or step up to a Chevy Silverado 1500 and score up to $6,250 in rebates with an eligible trade-in. It's the perfect time to upgrade your drive and start the year strong with the power and reliability of Chevy. Make your New Year's move today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online anytime at hurlchev.com.
We've been serving ag families for generations because we believe farming isn't just a job, it's a legacy. Whether you're just starting out or expanding your operation, F&B Bank has flexible lending solutions designed for you. This is Loan Officer Kennedy Frank at F&B Bank. We're proud to be your hometown ag lender, member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The insurance agency. Insurance the way it should be.
From the headlines to the highlights.
It's good! The Wildcats are champions of the Big 12!
This is the Morning Blitz.
Thanks to Ryan Carter. Fun conversation. Miss any of that? Go check out the podcast when we're all done with the show. Last chance. That's right. Officially the last chance today to win the 2 tickets to Traditions Restaurant Valentine's Day Dinner and Dance. If you want to be a winner from Traditions and take your significant other, you need to text in the word, whatever it might be that Connor Schuh has for us this morning. What is the word of the day today?
Unrelated to love or Valentine's Day at all, but I'm in the mood for this. Baseball.
Baseball is the word, thanks to Ryan Carter. So text the word baseball, 785-899-2222. Listener Drew already in there, but text that word. Let us know. You'll be entered in again. We're going to spin the wheel of love tomorrow. Spin the wheel of love, and we'll pick a winner from Traditions Restaurant with their Valentine's Day dinner and dance. Quickly, NBA trades. Anything stand out to you from yesterday, Connor Schuh?
Yes. A couple of things. Anthony Davis to the Wizards. I can't say I expected that at all, and I guess they're going for it. They got Trae Young not too long ago, and now they have
best Wizards team since what? Gilbert Arenas and Michael Jordan, or
you're totally forgetting about the John Wall years here, and
that's right, Johnny Wall. That's right.
Don't like that, but I don't think they're not anywhere near the playoffs this year. They're still pretty low in the standings in the Eastern Conference, so this has to be a play for next year because AD is still hurt as well. Wizards also get Jaden Hardy, D'Lo, and Dante Exum, and that's whatever for the most part. And then going the other way, a couple of first-round picks, 3 seconds, and then a bunch of salary dumps. Chris Middleton, he's unfortunately washed up these days. And then a bunch of young guys plus Marvin Bagley III, unfortunately a draft bust. I thought he was going to be great out of Duke many years ago. And then Malachi Branham, my guy from Ohio State, but that's besides the point. The other big-ish trade, you could say, it has to be the Kristaps Porzingis for Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield trade. That's really interesting to me. Kristaps going to the Warriors. I feel like they're gonna find interesting ways to utilize him as a shooting big who I think has been hurt most of this year, but Kuminga gets out of Golden State. He's a guy who's been in trade rumors for the past year and a half, and now he's getting D&Ps, and I think they just wanted to get rid of him, so they kicked him out the door. And yeah, there were a handful of other small trades, and I think teams are trying to get out in front of the trade deadline because it's today at 3, but last year, if you remember, there was a big issue with a physical for one player, Mark Williams, who was getting traded to the Hornets, but his physical didn't go through. He failed his physical, and then the trade didn't go through because it was right at the deadline. So I think teams are a little spooked by that and getting everything out early. So it's been cool to see all this stuff happening way before the trade deadline. But yeah, it's been fun.
Where's Buddy Hield going on the trade back? with Porzingis?
He is on the way to the Hawks with
Hawks,
Jonathan
okay.
Kuminga. And there's another piece to that trade. The Raptors are in there, I think, just to make money work. Trace Jackson Davis going there from the Warriors. Man, he was so good at IU.
Oh, man. Everybody's on the move at the trade deadline. All right, on to the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off Brady? Thomas to the 10. Difference going on in New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Last night in women's basketball, Kansas pulled away over BYU 81-60. K-State lost at Arizona 72-62. Tonight, a couple of interesting men's games. What do you think the spread is for Michigan at home against Penn State?
Oh, God, like 23 and a half.
Oh, 24.5. Great.
Really?
Yes. Excellent.
That's
job,
incredible.
Sir. And also tonight, your boys from Ohio State on the road at the Buzzard, Maryland.
God, we
Williams.
better not lose that game. That would be embarrassing.
OSU favored by 7.5 going into that game tonight.
Makes sense.
Not a lot of great big-time matchups tonight, to be honest with you. A pretty quiet Thursday. There is a little West Virginia at Cincinnati. Isn't that the backyard brawl? I think that is.
Think so.
No, I don't know if that is or not. But anyway, 5.5-point favorite for Cincy. Man, Cincy, 5.5-point favorite home over West Virginia?
Cincy's, they're
up and
they're
down.
a good defensive team. I'll give them that. Can't score the ball,
That's
but
what everybody wants to be known in basketball. You're an elite defensive team.
that's about
What
it.
they say about those great defensive basketball teams, you play to your strengths, so just throw the ball out of bounds.
Not even elite defensively. They're all right. I mean, that's the best I'm giving them.
That does it for the program. Thanks to Ryan Carter. Thanks to all of our great listeners. We're back tomorrow on a Friday. We'll spin the wheel of love. We'll have picks of the weekend. It's going to be a fun show. Stick around for that. Have a great rest of your day. Listen to the Blitz.